Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today, if this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button and thank you so much for your support. Today I have good news because I want to talk about a provincial nomination program that I know is going to interest you. One, it's because of the many reasons that I'll be talking about shortly. I just want to give a disclaimer that the information that I give on this channel is not legal advice. This is simply out of love. It's because I love you guys. I'm paying forward. I'm trying to help someone somewhere. So this is for your information purposes only. Do not take this as legal advice. If you want any help with your application, if you have any question, if you want to know if you qualify for this program, if you want me to evaluate you, please book a consultation. My email is going to be at the description of this video. That is out of the way. So what is this provincial nomination program that I want to talk about? I want us to go all the way to Saskatchewan, and you know that Saskatchewan is in the prairies region of Canada, and Saskatchewan has a lot of immigration programs that are highly attractive to immigrants from all over the world here in Canada. And so they have a very good provincial nomination program called the SINP, that is the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. That is a program that you should be looking to. It has various streams, so that's something that you should be looking at. But today in particular, among the streams under this provincial nominee program is a certain class that is called the International Skilled Worker Occupation in Demand class. That is what I want us to focus our attention on. And the reason I want us to focus on this particular class is because this class is for skilled workers who don't have a job in Canada or in Saskatchewan rather, but are highly skilled in an in-demand occupation in Saskatchewan. So just as the subject says, international skilled workers, so you can be anywhere in the world to apply for this. You know that a lot of provincial nomination programs do favor people who have job offers, and you all know, I have said this time and again, that getting a job offer when you're outside Canada can be an uphill task. So the good thing with this program is that you do not need that job offer. It's not a requirement for this particular class, okay? But on the other hand, you must be skilled in occupations that are in demand in Saskatchewan. So it's upon you to do some research. You know what your occupation is. Please check to see that your occupation is in demand in Saskatchewan. You must also meet a subcategory criteria that I'll be talking about in a moment. So how do you qualify for this program? What is the eligibility criteria for this? Number one is that you must pay a non-refundable application fee of $350, and this is for the expression of interest. Because you're going to find that to begin with, you're going to submit an expression of interest for this program, and once you submit an expression of interest, then they are going to give you an invitation to apply. If you meet all the eligibility criteria, it's not a must, you may. So it's not guaranteed that if you meet the eligibility criteria, you are going to get an invitation to apply. No, but you may. So most probably you will receive. So for that, you will pay a non-refundable fee of 350 Canadian dollars. Number two is if you live outside Canada. So see, I said, so it doesn't matter where you live. If you live outside Canada, or you are living in Canada and you are in status. Yes, please make sure that if you're living in Canada, you are in status and you can show proof of your status. If you're a refugee claimant, this program is not for you. Number three is you must score a minimum of 60 points out of 100 in the Saskatchewan, in the SINP point assessment grid. So they have their own point criteria, just like the CRS points. So for this one, you must get 60 out of 100, and we shall see how you can get those points in a minute. Okay. The other criteria that you must meet is language assessment. Remember, I have said for all economic classes, you are going to show language benchmarks. And this one has very low requirements. It needs only a CLB4. So you do not, but this is the basic. This is like the bare minimum. So make sure, I have said time and again, please aim higher. Do not just aim for the basic, because the basic is only going to give you basic points. But if you have higher, then you're going to earn more points, and we shall see that in a minute. Okay. Number 5 that you must meet is your education credential assessment. I have also said that. I have made a video. Please look for that video on how to do your education credential assessments and where to do them. And this is for your post-secondary education. You must have at least a diploma or a certificate or a degree or higher. So just make sure that you already have an ECA that is valid. Okay. Yeah. For tradespeople, one must obtain a Saskatchewan license. So I just want to mention that, so that if you're in the trades programs, you must obtain a Saskatchewan license. Number 6 is the work experience. You must have work experience in an occupation that is in high demand, highly skilled and in demand in Saskatchewan. Please make sure you're not in the list of the excluded occupations. Excuse me, they have given a list of excluded occupations, so make sure yours is not in the excluded before you apply, because if you're excluded, then you do not belong to this program. You may want to try something else. And for this work experience, what they want is for the skilled professionals, they want at least 1 year full-time work experience in the past 10 years. For the skilled trades people, you are going to need 2 years of full-time work experience in the past 5. And if you have Canadian experience, it will be you'll be needing at least 1 year work experience in the past 3. The other eligibility that you must meet is that work experience. The work experience we talked about in the highly skilled, in-demand occupation must be in a field that you studied in. So please pay attention to this. The work experience you have must be directly related to what you studied in your post-secondary education. An example is, if you went to school and you studied to become an accountant, your work experience must be in accounting. You cannot have studied to become a baker, but now then you've been working as an office administrator. You cannot use that kind of work experience. It must be directly related to what you studied in your post-secondary education. The final eligibility that you must meet is proof of settlement funds and a settlement plan. So those ones come together. And remember, I have talked about settlement funds. I've even made a video about how much money you need to come to Canada through express entry. That is just a guide. But for this class, you must show that you have money to live on when you come to Canada. Remember, you don't have a job, so you're going to need to show proof of funds that you have money to live on. You're not coming here to be destitute. You're not coming here to be homeless or to depend on the social system. That is why you need to show proof of settlement funds. And for this, I'm just going to give a little breakdown of how much money you need. For one person, you will need 12,669. For 2 people, you will need 15,772. For a family of 3, you will need 19,390. For 4 people, you will need 23,542. For 5 people, you will need 26,701. For 6 people, you will need 30,114. And for a family of 7, you will need 33,528. And that is all in Canadian dollars. Okay? All right. Remember, I said that you must meet 60 out of 100 points in their grid system. So how do you do this? And remember, you don't have a job. You don't have a job offer, but you need to meet 60 out of 100. And it's very easy to meet this 60 out of 100. And this is how they are going to assess that rating. So they're going to assess you on based on education and training. So if you have master's or a PhD, you can earn up to 23 points. So the higher your education, the better. So you get to bag 23 points for that. The other one is you're going to be rated upon your skilled work experience. And remember what we talked about the skilled work experience. It must be highly skilled in a job that is in demand, in something that you studied in, okay? All that, it must meet that. So this work experience, depending on the number of years, you can get up to a maximum points of 10. Okay, so see, we already have 23 there if you have a master's, and now we have 10 for work experience. The other criteria is language ability. So they had said that they need CLB4 to be able to qualify for this class. However, if you have CLB 8 and higher, you get a whole 20 points. So see, the higher your CLB, the better. Okay, so always aim for the high language benchmarks. The other one is age. I have said age really matters in these applications. You can apply at any age, but then there's a prime age whereby you bag the most points. And for this case, if you're between 22 and 34 years, you get to take home 12 points for your age. So in those 4 categories, you can earn up to a maximum of 70 points. And if you have 70 points, come on, you already have over 60 that are required for you to be able to qualify for this, to be able to apply for an expression of interest. Okay. Another criteria that is going to help you is your connections in Canada. Not in Canada, rather, is in Saskatchewan. So they want, if you have people, if you have close family living in Saskatchewan, of course, there's a criteria for that as well. I'm not gonna go deep into that. But if you have close family, and they are quite generous on their definition of close family, it's not just your siblings and your parents. It's your uncles, your aunties, your cousins, your stepbrothers, your nephews and nieces. So if you have that people that fall in that category who live in Saskatchewan, you can get up to 20 points. The other one is your past work experience in Saskatchewan. So if you've worked in Saskatchewan before, you can get up to 5 points. And if you studied in Saskatchewan, you can also get up to 5 points. So that is all you need to know about this program and how to go about it. So we said that you apply for an expression of interest. If you meet the criteria, then they may give you an invitation to apply for nomination. And once you get the provincial nomination in this class, then Immigration Canada, that is IRCC, is going to be processing your permanent residence application in a span of about 6 months. So it's a very quick process, has low requirements. So this is one of the most attractive programs that I have seen there. Just make sure that your occupation is in demand in Saskatchewan. Please do your due diligence, do some research, look at the list of excluded occupations because it's quite large. It's about 3 pages. So just make sure that yours is not among those, and make sure that you can define your knock, you can define your skill sets clearly. Don't get those things from the internet. Make sure that you're not misrepresenting yourself and you are on your way to coming to Saskatchewan as a permanent resident. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being with me tonight. If you have any question, as I said, my email is going to be at the description part of this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Good night. See you at my next video. Bye.